Hey everyone, Nick from AkuShaper here to do a quick tutorial on the image board function in AkuShaper. The image board function is used to overlay an image onto an existing design file and replicate some of the contours of the image. So I just started today with a 7/6 egg here, which I'm going to size up as I go along through the tutorial. And I've pre-selected my images and saved them to my desktop. So I'm going to start with the outline by going to a File, Image Board, Outline. It's going to then ask me to look for the file of the image, which I have here. Open up the image. And I'm sorry, I'm going to do that one more time because I skipped through the tool you need to work with this. So once the image loads, there's this prompt box that talks about to set the tail, hold T and click on the tail of the image, and N and click on the nose. These holding T and N are basically what shifts the image into place, and that's what we're going to do now. So once you hit OK, because this board is already kind of matching to my design, it's a little hard to see where it's at. So I'm going to go into the Show Hide menu and remove this Show Board Filled. And that just makes the board transparent so I can see what's behind it. So now I'm going to go in and hold the T key and try to move the tail. When you hold T and click on the screen, the board image will move in the opposite direction. So if I click on the lower half of the board, it'll move it up, like so. If I want to move the board right, I need to click on the left-hand side of the screen. And the farther out you move the mouse, the farther it'll move. So to make just a minute adjustment, click close to the stringer line and the tail till you get the board into position. So that looks pretty good for the tail. Now I just need to line up the nose. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold the N key, and I want it to move up. So I'm going to click on the lower part of the board until it lines up into zone. So that looks pretty good. You know, maybe could just be a hair off, but for the most part, it looks like we got it right where we want it. And so at that point, if the image isn't perfectly lined up, I like to use just match it to one half of the board instead of it being symmetric on both sides, just so whichever outline of the image looks the best generally is the one I use. And so just start to manipulate the lines until you start to follow the contour of the image. And voila. So, a little bit of room for adjustment here, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'll just keep moving on. So that's how you can get the image board function there. And I'll just put the board background or the board filled again. So then you can kind of see where those little spots are poking out that you might want to get just a hair closer. So then the image, that's how you do the image board on the outline. And then you can also do it on the rocker profile as well. And it's the same steps: image board, profile. I'm going to find my rocker profile. Same tools, holding T for the tail and holding N for the nose. I'm going to go ahead and take that board filled out again so I can see. And I'll just start with the tail, just get it into position. And as I stated before, the image will move in the opposite direction you click on the screen. So now I can start to replicate the deck rocker. Just go to the bottom, match that. Now after you get the whole board image, it's still sitting at 7/6, even though the image I use of the board that I shaped was a 9-foot board. So what I would do at this point is I would take the image board out, and then I would just size the board back to where I had it, and that'll keep the outline but more sized up. So If you have any questions about the image board function or want some specific hands-on help, shoot us an email at support@akushaper.com and we'd be happy to help you. Thank you.